Oh yeah, cool. So if there's a young person who's having sex for the first time, my advice to them would be to assess how much they know about sex and encourage them to teach them about sex. So teach them about consent, around their sexuality, around pleasurable sex, just DSC in general. Also to explore their own sexuality for themselves. So like, healthy masturbation to see what arouses you, where you touch and how it feels nice. Maybe ethical porn if you feel stimulated and they can show you an array of different sex positions and so on and so forth. I think definitely encourage young people to be informed. Otherwise, you go into the experience and you have experiences where, like, men are taught to prioritize their own pleasure. Sex is seen as an experience for men. They don't care if you're aroused, and that shit can be painful. Like, and women don't enjoy sex when it should be pleasurable. Women don't reach like orgasm, and sex doesn't just only be about orgasm, but like if a woman desires that experience, they should be have conversation and stimulation and experimentation around that. So information should definitely be a force behind sexual exploration, and definitely also encourage safe sex.
My other question is, would you? Okay, we have like a lot of people that do ask us about masturbation and whatnot, right? So we want to get your opinion. Would you say it's a good thing, or would you say it's a bad thing, or would you say it would go horribly bad? It's good, but it can be bad. You get what I mean?
Yeah, so we're living in a climate where masturbation is generally discouraged. And for me, like, that irks me again because I think it reinforces the narrative that sex needs to happen with somebody. And sometimes people can be jumping into situations where they're having sex with somebody without negotiating consent. So we need masturbation because masturbation can be pleasurable. You can use sex toys as a way to have legitimate sex. It's also such a great way to explore one's sexuality, like feeling what feels nice. Sometimes women experience their first orgasm through sex and they're able to see, oh, that's where I went. This is how long I take. People can assess, like, their stamina. Like, there's so much we can learn. But I think above all, like, I don't know, just the feeling of somebody using and having access to your body before you know your own body just feels disempowering. Like, I think masturbation is really a great way for people to own their sexuality, for people to have access to sex for themselves with the use of sex toys, and to just understand what pleasures them, what doesn't, and so on and so forth.
I'm gonna take you back to the contraception chat. So you mentioned that you're not on any type of contraception besides a condom.
And
No?
it's not safe. I mean, I
Yeah.
discourage, it's just my preference. I definitely encourage women to
Yeah.
be, and men, like the only contraceptive that's available, men-based contraceptives, is condoms, and that's
It's
like a
condoms and
patriarchal
then
thing.
the eternal and the permanent one.
Oh,
For
vasectomy, yeah, right.
yes.
So there's very
Yeah.
limited options, and it's like women have to, before that. But I don't,
Okay.
I fully encourage like long-term contraceptive, but also understanding side effects, you know.
Okay, yeah. I wanted to touch on that. What are the side effects you've heard from your friends? Because you mentioned that, the talks with the ladies, it's like horrible.
Yeah,
Like, what are those side effects that you've heard from them and you're like, oh, yeah, no,
yeah.
this sounds like a deal breaker for me, or I won't be able to handle this type of, you know,
Yeah,
issue.
I think to each their own. But for my friends, it's pill fatigue. Pill fatigue's the first one. Second is just like irritability and anger, general bodily fatigue. Also, like, there's something about, I think there's a psychological thing of like having to be the main person who's like taking responsibility around pregnancy prevention. And also, like, sometimes women go on contraceptives because their partner is more concerned about having raw sex and that being pleasurable and without the risk of pregnancy more than they are like it's more centered from them and they have experiences. It's like more men centered than genuinely being concerned about women's well-being showing up as they navigate like side effects. So it feels, disproportional, distorted, and disempowering from what I've heard from colleagues.
Okay, cool. So I think these are the last two. Now these are about you, ne? You can say we didn't even actually ask you. Are you dating, single? What's going on there?
Guys, I can't like. Okay, so yeah, we need to decenter men. We need to decenter men. We need to decenter men. And I'm a victim of this because young women are taught that their value and their worth is based on women. You're only a woman if you're married. You're only a woman if you have sex. You're only like beautiful if the most beautiful, I mean, the most handsome guy gets you. And don't only like, I hate that our life becomes revolved around men. Like we discourage women from pursuing longer term goals, from like pursuing careers, from feeling beautiful within their own skin, from not having to perform beauty for men because it's draining, it's exhausting. So I'm up on a path of like decentering men right now. Yeah, I'm not dating, and my experience of the dating scene is that like they're like they're all bad. Like I'm so exhausted with you guys. Like I'm so tired with you guys. I'm so tired. Like I don't like it.
Decentering men, I don't know, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Does it mean that you, it doesn't mean that you hate men.
Yo, Chomi, I do.
You hate men.
I'm a misandrist. Like I'm so done. Okay, no, guys, don't put that. Like it will cost me job. But I'm not like I don't hate men, but I have boundaries. That's answer to your question. And what would be wrong if women hated men? I feel like we have the right to hate men. Like after your raped, am I supposed to love you?
With doing that, Ned, the idea is not to hate men, from what I've heard from other people,
Oh,
but to
decentering men.
yes,
Oh, the chat around decentering men is like not making men
men, the main
thing of women's lives, right? And
Okay,
like
cool.
women not investing so much in beauty, their time, their focus on men and actually pursuing things that empowers them and like has longer term like outlooks for them. Because like there's a whole economy in which women are just meant to perform for men that derails them from accessing capital. Like for example, like how women have to perform beauty for men. They spend so much money, they have to keep up with the latest trends, so on and so forth. Like plastic surgery comes into that conversation a little bit. All of this, and it like drains women's pockets. It takes a lot of their energy. And for what? Men are not going to give you land. They're going to use you. They're going to abuse you. Like,
Wait,
it's a bad investment.
besides the men hate him for it, trust me. But where do you think you went wrong in your relationship? Where you can identify that okay, I could have done this better.
Oh yeah. Oh Jesus. Abandonment wounds. I think. Abandonment wounds. Um, abandonment wounds. Yeah, probably not like having positive role male models. But like I don't want to go down that slippery slope because they're gonna be like, hey, she's just a father, let's get you know, yeah, father didn't treat her right. Now
I
they are
wanted.
coming to Ndandani. And I hate that because
Uh huh.
they make it our fault as women that are that's a reflection of the man. You're so
Okay,
weak to have a
true.
child and not look after them. You're
True.
boring.
Okay, true. True. So the question is then, decentering men, do you believe that father figures are important in a female child lives, a female child's life?
Okay, this is probably going to be the most important thing I'm going to say in this interview is that patriarchy affects both men and women, right? Women from the point of view that they have to be submissive to a dominant power of men and they have to say yes to men and they have to like diminish themselves to like subscribe to the preferences and the commands of men. And then it affects men in the sense that like being in a position of power where you have to perpetually like act violence is dehumanizing, right? Like you limit yourself to being in a space of anger, vitriol. And I think also like the whole provider